My name is Margaret. I am 70 years old. I raised my boy all by myself. My partner died long ago, back when our little one was just a baby. That moment changed everything for me forever. From that day forward, I became both parent and protector to my child. He was all I had left in this entire world. When my husband left us, terror filled my chest. How could I possibly raise a son alone? But then I watched him sleeping peacefully beside me, so tiny and innocent. Something powerful stirred deep inside my soul. I made a sacred promise to myself that night. I will shield him from every storm. I will never let him feel abandoned or unloved. I worked endlessly, tirelessly. Every day was a battle. I prepared humble meals with whatever we had. I scrubbed our clothing by hand until my fingers ached. Sometimes I cleaned strangers' homes just to earn a few coins. Many evenings I collapsed into bed, exhausted, stomach empty and growling. But my boy, he always ate first. His belly was always full. When he laughed, even my deepest pain seemed to vanish like smoke. When he was learning to walk, he stumbled constantly. Each time he fell and cried out for me, I rushed to scoop him up. "Don't worry, my darling," I whispered, holding his tiny hands tight. "I'm right here." When fever burned through his little body, I sat beside him all night long, touching his forehead, whispering prayers, begging for his recovery. Season after season, year after year, he grew taller and stronger. Meanwhile, my hair faded to silver. My bones became fragile. But my love, that never weakened, not even for a moment. When he became a grown man, he labored in the farmlands. Every single evening, I waited anxiously for the sound of his footsteps approaching our door. I prepared his meals. I swept the floors. When he arrived home covered in dust and exhaustion, just seeing him safe made my heart overflow with joy. I never asked for wealth. I never desired luxury or ease. Having him near me, that was more than enough. One afternoon he approached me nervously. "Mama," he said softly, "I wish to marry someone." I forced a smile onto my face. "If she makes you happy, my dear, then I am happy too." But deep down, fear gripped my chest like an iron fist. I knew everything was about to change once more. When his bride moved into our small house, I greeted her warmly. She looked so young, so lovely. "This is your home now," I told her gently. "Please feel welcome." I tried helping her in the kitchen, showing her where we kept the spices and pots. But within days, something felt off. Her responses became clipped and cold. She avoided meeting my gaze. When I offered assistance with cooking, she snapped, "I already know how to do this." Whenever I opened my mouth to speak, irritation flashed across her face. So gradually, I stopped talking altogether. "She's just adjusting," I told myself. "Give her time." One evening, my boy returned home very late. His shirt was covered in dirt. Weariness lined his face. He sat down heavily and called out, "Darling, I'm exhausted. Could you bring me some water?" Silence. After a moment he tried again. "Sweetheart, I'm starving. Is dinner ready?" Still no response. I was resting in the adjoining room. Our house was so small that every sound traveled through the paper-thin walls. I heard him stand abruptly. His tone sharpened. "Why won't you answer me?" Then came her voice thick with tears. "It's your mama," she sobbed. "She despises me. She screams at me constantly. She calls me worthless and foolish. She keeps asking why you'd marry someone like me." My hands began trembling violently. None of that was true. Not one single word. But I remained silent in the shadows. My boy replied gently, "Please try to understand. She's elderly now. Just try to get along peacefully." Her voice turned icy. "There is no food tonight. I couldn't cook, not with that old hag constantly criticizing everything I do." He sighed deeply. "She is my mama. This house belongs to her too." Then she delivered her ultimatum coldly. "You must decide right now. Either keep me or keep her. You cannot have both. That night my son went to bed on an empty stomach. I lay awake on my thin mat, eyes fixed on the darkness above me. My chest felt crushed under unbearable weight. I prayed silently through the night. Please guide him wisely. Please don't let him make the wrong choice. The next morning I heard her voice again, sharp and demanding. Have you made your decision yet? Do you choose me or your mama? Then she spoke words that pierced my soul like daggers. Take your mama to the cliff. Push her off the edge. She's ancient anyways. She'll die soon regardless. I'm young and strong. We can finally be happy together without her. That entire day, my boy barely spoke a word. He refused food. He wouldn't look at me. For the very first time in my life, I felt afraid of my own child. That evening he came to me quietly and said, Mama, tomorrow we're going on a trip together. I searched his eyes carefully. I understood everything in that instant. My heart shattered into 1,000 pieces, but my expression remained calm and steady. I simply nodded. All right, my dear. The following morning he lifted me carefully onto his back. The trail leading up the cliff was rough and uneven. Cool wind brushed against our faces. I didn't ask any questions. As we climbed higher and higher, his breathing grew labored. His steps slowed under my weight. I looked around at the landscape, the trees, the sky, the earth below, and thought about my entire life. I remembered feeding him with my own hands when he was helpless. I remembered cradling him whenever he wept. I remembered shielding him from every danger imaginable. If today is my last day, I thought quietly, I have no regrets. When we finally reached the summit, I spoke softly. My dear boy, I know why you've brought me here. He froze mid-step. When you push me over, I continued gently. Please hold on to that tree branch tightly so you don't fall with me. Slowly he turned around to face me. Tears streamed down his cheeks uncontrollably. You know, he choked out. I smiled sadly at him. Yes, a mama always knows her child's heart. He lowered me carefully to the ground. Then he covered his face with both hands and wept like a child again. I almost murdered you. He sobbed brokenly. And even now you're worried about my safety. I reached out and touched his trembling hand gently. My precious boy. A mama's love has no ending. After a long silence filled only with his tears, he lifted me onto his back once more, but this time, he walked down the mountain instead. When we arrived home, he sent his bride away immediately. I didn't try stopping him. I didn't speak ill of her either. I simply thanked God silently for bringing my son back to me. Now we live together peacefully, just the two of us again. I prepare his meals lovingly. He cares for me tenderly. Our little house is quiet once more, filled only with warmth and gratitude. A mama's love demands nothing in return. A mama's love never fades away, not through pain, betrayal, or time itself. Never forget the person who sacrificed everything, just so you could have something. Remember, the hands that rocked your cradle will always deserve your respect, no matter how old or frail they become. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like the video and share it with someone who needs hope. Subscribe to English Reflections for more simple stories and daily motivation.